Good morning, everyone. Let us take a look at the essay on being a bore for the essay section for BBM, BCA, BSc-IT for Patliputra University as per your syllabus. On being a bore is an essay written by Robert Lynd. So we are taking a look at the presentation on what the author is trying to say, or what the author stresses out on his research. He finds out there are many types of bores in the society. So he's trying to highlight the typical bores he has met. And here you see Robert Lynd, a very humorous writer. We already know him to our last presentations. So the train bores we're talking about, let us take a look at how are the people and what does he call whom he feels is a real train bore. So the train bores are those persons who speak to you when you're traveling and they continue their conversation and they'd have no idea how much they can bore a person. If you have come across such persons, you do not want to wish to speak to, but then some people love talking and they'll talk to you, they'll bore you, and then you are really fed up of such kind of people. In such situations, the author Robert Lynd he had a friend, an American, who was good at traveling. He used to travel a lot. Once, what happened? He was traveling with Robert Lynd. What he saw was that being a very rich American, he bought a very cheap watch. And when the author asked him the reason, he said, "You will wait and see." So when they boarded the train, a stranger came up to him and asked him for the time. What he did was he feigned that he was not a normal person. He looked at the person, he threw out his watch, and threw out the watch through the open window. And then after that, nobody spoke to him. Why? Because everybody thought that he is some kind of abnormal person. And who would throw out his own watch out of the window of the train? So that way, nobody bothered him, nobody came to him. So he spent his time traveling, reading a book. But then, on the contrary, the author he says that I love traveling and I love meeting people because it's so entertaining listening to their stories, talking to them. So it's like watching a film or a theater without a ticket. So the author enjoys it. So here you see some people in the train. So why did the man throw his watch out of the window? Because he did not want to be bored by anyone. So there he sees the watch and then he throws it out of the window. And then he talks about the traffic bores, traffic jam bores. In a traffic jam, you can really get annoyed, irritated because of slow moving traffic. But the beggars out there, it becomes a boon for them. So what they do, they come out and they ask you for money. So it's a blessing for them. The more the traffic, the more the earnings. Here you see the jam and people out there are getting bored, but then the beggars are happy so that they can earn something there. And then he talks about the golf course. Golf is one interesting game, but then if you have never seen a golf ball, you would not like to speak about anything concerned with golf. If you're not interested in golf, and if somebody is very much, then it's going to be really boring for you. So they are the golf boys who always talk about golf. And then there are the childhood bores. Some children are so bored with adults. So with their numerous instructions, they get fed up, they are bored. So some children are really bored with adults. And so different bores, different kind of people who bore each other. And then the root bores. There are some people who have got this habit of giving instructions, showing the path. Nobody has asked them, but then they have the habit of guiding people. Okay, it's okay if you know the route, but then if you do not know the route, you can only be your suggestion can be disastrous to somebody. So you are in a fix which way to go. But then if you know the route, give advice. If you do not know, it's better to keep shut. Some children are bored, so much bored of the adults, they start avoiding them. So in one of his, talking about one of the memories, Robert Lynd says that when he was a child, there was an uncle who always used to come to his place, and he had no topic other than politics. So he was so bored with him. One day he took him out, and then he became the guide and spoke so loudly, telling the person what this road, the name of the road, the name of the building. So he pretended to be a guide, and he spoke so loudly that the adults, the uncle was so fed up that he said, "Oh my God, you are such a bore." So he reveals that when he was a child, he bored a lot of people. So it can be really boring for someone. The two-way bores. What are the two-way bores? When two people meet, they talk a lot, they spend time talking, they have so much to say, they have so much to talk about. So they continuously talk and talk and talk until they run out of stock. And when there's nothing to talk about, they start boring each other. So this is the two-way bores. Both of them are boring each other. So these are the two-way bores. First of all, you talk and talk and talk, and then you have nothing to say. So you just run out of ideas, thoughts, and words, and you start boring each other. And now the one-way bores. The one-way bores are one person who's talking, he loves to talk, so he doesn't give chance for the other person to even react or give the feedback. So one person talking and the other is getting bored. One-way bore. One-way bores. One person is talking while the other has already fallen asleep. And then finally he talks about the war bores, the war heroes. So they have it is something so important for them, for their life. They are the survivors of the wars. And so they have nothing to talk about except wars. So whenever you meet them, they come up with the same old story again and again and again. And then they don't realize it, but they have given up the story so many times. They have, because it's so important for them. But then for the other people, it gets boring, because when you listen to the same stories again and again and again, it is pretty boring. So people talk and talk and talk. So this was on being a war. I hope you got an idea of what the writer is talking about, the various bores in the society. So this was your lesson concluded today. On Being a Bore by Robert Lynd. You can add your own instance, your examples, if you have come across any bores, and if there are any bores in your life, let us know about it. And make sure, think about it. I hope you are not becoming a bomb bore for anybody. Think about it. That's all for today.